Okay, so today I'm coming to talk about coconut oil, and I have just a random brand, and this is another brand. And I'm coming to talk about coconut oil simply because I'm noticing more and more people are speaking of it in a negative light in the natural hair community. People are starting to say that it's what breaks their hair. It does this, it does that, it does that. I mean, whether it does or not, that is not what I'm after. My thing is be informed. Inform yourself, because I'm noticing that a lot of people just follow people, and whatever they say, they take it as the gospel, and they're not going to use coconut oil because the person that they follow or the guru that they follow suddenly feels that coconut oil is not good for their hair. So because you feel that your hair looks like theirs, it's not good for you. Don't do that. Find out for yourself why. They know why they feel that coconut oil is not good for their hair. Did they do a process of elimination? Did they just stop using coconut oil and find that their hair was fine? Did they find out whether their diet or some hormonal imbalance was a contributory factor to the coconut oil not working? You have to think about those things. People just make blanket statements, and then all of a sudden, just like sulfates and parabens, people are not going to use that. They're not going to use it because of one little rumor, one little comment, or one somebody who says this. Be informed. Inform yourself. Do your research. You're online. There's so much information out there. When I started following when I came in contact with the natural hair community, I was doing a cosmetic science diploma, and if you know from my videos, I'm very interested in ingredients of all kinds, whether it's for hair, food, whatever. I always read up. I always want to know, and I thought, let me do this course because I'm so interested in hair products, and I also interested in the ingredients. So part of my the exam was for me to create my own product, and my thing at the time was, I want to be able, because I live in like a drought-ridden country, things are not so accessible because a lot of things don't grow here easily as it would if I lived in the tropics. So my thing was, whatever product I make, I want to make sure that I can get everything, all the ingredients right in my house, whether it's in the fridge or in the garden or within the periphery around me, close proximity. I didn't want to have to go across the border to South Africa. I didn't want to have to go to Zambia or Zimbabwe to look for products, because at the end of the day, if I want to create my own products, I want it to be cost effective. I want to be able to use the materials rightly in the country that I live in. So as a result, I was having a hard time formulating my product for the exam, and then a friend of mine said, "Why don't you just go on YouTube? And there will be people there who would probably have formulas using natural products." And lo and behold, that was my real first introduction to YouTube. I'd heard about YouTube, and I didn't really want to be a part of it because I couldn't understand how people could talk about their personal lives and things like that. Because that is rumor, what people think. Oh, you're going on there to tell your whole life story. It's not about that. It's people sharing information. So when I went on there, I was looking for formulas and things like that. And because I was looking for natural based ingredients, I wanted my product ingredients to be natural as possible. On my feed, I kept getting all these YouTube videos with people, the natural hair community. Lots of people were part of the natural hair community, making products using aloe vera, and they were using aloe vera from the plant. They were actually videotaping the plant and cutting it and making their concoctions. The same with cocoa butter, shea butter. Everything was natural, and they were very natural centric, as I say. And this was like 2005, 2006, 2007. That's when I sort of got acquainted to the natural hair community, which was great for me because I've been natural most of my life, except for a few years when I was much older, where I decided, let me just relax my hair because I was going to graduate school, and I thought graduate school was going to be a nightmare, and I wouldn't have time for my hair because my hair was very thick and very long and very, out of control. I really didn't. It's hard. It was hard work to manage. It was very thick and long. So, and I found graduate school was probably easier than undergrad because you have fewer classes and things like that. So that being said, so I've been natural most of my life, and So I noticed a lot of girls are doing videos on using all natural products, and the reason being is that at that time there were not a lot of brands that were catering. There were none or very few catering at that time to natural hair. The one name I remember because of one person I followed at the time was Pretty Dimples. She talked about Cantu Shea Butter all the time. So that was one brand, one line that did cater sort of to the natural hair community. So I mean, today, 2016, you have a plethora of brands that cater to the natural hair community, and not necessarily the ethnic group, but it's also just, you know, natural for people who are vegan or vegetarians and don't want certain products in their ingredients in their hair stuff. So I noticed that, and I thought to myself, you know what, when I finish this program, I finish my exam, I'll have time to really look at that. And it was impressive because people were really like, you know, going to the farmers market, going to their gardens and using those products to take care of their hair. So they were using the coconut oils, the olive oils, anything in your kitchen could be used. There's a cutoff line for me. I can go as natural as possible, but things that food products, I can't put in my hair. It's just not me. I can't put banana in my hair. I can't put pawpaw in my hair. I can't put mango in my hair. You know, I can't make my puree. I just don't like that. I can do the oils. I can use the powders like the cassava flowers. I can concoct things, but you know, still, I'm happy with the oils. And coconut oil was one of the favorites. Olive oil was also a favorite. But now I'm noticing that there's a little bit of, you know, everybody's now blaming coconut oil for their hair doing this, their hair not doing that, you know. And I think we should just take a step back and really look at this properly. I'm also noticing on the market they have extra virgin coconut oil, and I mean, really, it's just a marketing gimmick. I mean, go online and search and find out what the definition of extra virgin coconut oil is and regular coconut oil. Now, there are differences between the way coconut oil is manufactured. I'm not a professional, but I can give you just the basic is that, you know, there's coconut oil that comes from the fresh coconut, and there's coconut oil that comes from the dried coconut, and the processes are slightly different. My thing is, if you want to buy coconut oil, buy it from an Indian store, an African store, a West Indian store, a store where the people from those countries use it. Either they eat it, they used to eat it, they put it in their skin, they put it in their hair. You are better off there. It's also good to buy from there because there'll be movement with that product. That product keeps going, you know, keeps being bought, and you know, you probably have a fresher supply. That's my thinking. You could go to Whole Foods, you know, the price or a health food store. You can do that too, but likely you're going to have a more refined product than the unrefined. And I believe in the unrefined. I also feel the unrefined it tells you the unrefined coconut oil is purer as far as I'm concerned, and it has its nutty fragrance. It gets rancid if it's not stored well. It comes rancid along the way if you don't use it. You have the year sitting open, you know, not packaged properly, not in a bottle. If you have a bottle that's dark like this, when I say dark, it's thick, opaque, chances are it will last a little longer than this one where it's clear because the sun's rays will, you know, get at it, and you know, bacteria will just form. But I prefer to get the unrefined because I feel that's a pure essence of your coconut. That's what you want, and the product tells you whether it's good or bad. You open the coconut oil container, it smells nutty. If you don't like a nutty fragrance, then go and get the unrefined. But for me, the unrefined does nothing. This was very unrefined. I bought it because I couldn't find my normal brand of coconut oil. As far as I'm concerned, this could have been a viscous form of water. It didn't smell like coconut oil. It didn't act like coconut oil on my hair, you know. And I feel that, you know what you like. If you like the unrefined, no odor, no whatever, good for you. But I always feel I want some of the naturalness to be in there. Even if there's a leaf in there, I would rather buy that one because I feel it's purer. And you want something pure. Then again, there's something called copra. That is supposed to be the dried form of coconut oil or coconut, where they extract the oil from. Those are some of the things you have to look at. If on your ingredients it tells you that comes from copra, I would be a little wary because the process is different. It's not as natural, as healthy as getting it from the actual coconut fruit. For me to say, think about those things. The processes are different. So if the processes are different, then whether it's refined or unrefined would affect your hair. That's something to consider. Extra virgin, that is the olive oil thing. When it comes to coconut, I don't think there's really there's no distinction between the two things. It's just a marketing ploy or gimmick or for you to buy because it's extra virgin oil. Now, everything is there's going to be unrefined mango oil and things like that. So you need to be aware of things like that. Just get a regular bottle of coconut oil. Let it be. Don't buy anything. Read the ingredients. Is it mixed with something else? Then something is it may work for you, may not work for you, and then it's up to you. But don't just stop using a product simply because somebody whose hair looks like yours, or because 13 of the 20 people that you follow don't like coconut oil, and they don't even know why they don't like coconut. There's some people in there who have researched, who have said, this is what's going on. My story is, I live in a country where I don't really have access to great hair products, and if I find products, I buy them. But because of this, I've always tried to go the natural route. I've always tried to find products in the house that I can use on my hair. So of course, coconut oil was going to be one of them. Now, because my hair is color treated, it's different. It responds to things differently. I'm one of those people who doesn't follow the non-sulfur free, not paraben free and all that. It doesn't matter to me. If the product works for my hair, I am buying it. Because at the end of the day, manufacturers do not want lawsuits. They do not want you to sue them for a toxic ingredient being there in quantities that will kill you. If there's something toxic in there, with like many products out there, it's in minuscule proportions. And they have specific directions on how to use it. Like shampoos and conditioners, they tell you, wash it off immediately. Leave the conditioner 3 to 5 minutes. If you're going to do it for 45 minutes and 20 minutes and an hour like myself, that's your problem. If your hair drops off because you didn't follow that directions like I don't, then you can't blame anybody for your hair for breaking. And they tell you these things because some of those ingredients in there may be toxic, may be harsh, may be coarse, may be, damaging in larger quantities. And they figure that, if even though we're using this small amount, we're still protecting you by telling you, leave the conditioner in your hair for 3 to 5 minutes. It is it's a wash-off product. It is not supposed to be in your hair for the whole day like some of us do. And if anything happens after that, that's your fault. So getting to that, my hair, because it's color treated, needed a little more products with a little more strength. So here I am. I live in a dry, arid climate, which means your hair is always dry. The sun just beats it, sucks it out, sucks all the moisture. So you're constantly fighting to find products that will keep your hair moisturized, supple, soft to the touch. And my way of approaching this was by consistently bagging my hair. Any opportunity I got, I bagged my hair. So my hair could be bagged the whole week, the whole day, the whole night, because I was trying to trap in the moisture. And what that did was my hair became dependent on that moisture. So it couldn't survive when I left my hair out on the natural air. The natural air would leave it dry and crisp and crunchy. And when I bagged it, it would be mushy. And I used to wonder because, I was like, what is going on? And my hair wasn't really growing. And so, you thank God to YouTube. I started, and with following subscribers online, I always look for people who color treated their hair as well as non-color treated hair. I follow people who have relaxed hair. I follow people out of my ethnic group because I always believe you can learn from everybody. I've always used products that seem to be marketed in a different ethnic market, and they work for me. So with that being said, what was happening? I started noticing that the girls I follow who have color treated hair, their hair is beautiful. It's soft. It's full of life. It's supple. Why isn't my hair that way? And when I would use the coconut oil, it would just sit on my hair, leave my hair crisp and dry, and I hated it. So I stopped using it. And one thing about me is I will try a product until I finish it. And I'll try it at different times of the year or whatever. I'll try it in combination with other products. And coconut oil was just not doing it. So I thought, you know what, this is just one of the products that my hair doesn't like. And there were quite a few products I was noticing my hair didn't like. And I was thinking, in this country where I can barely find any products, the few that I find, my hair doesn't seem to like it. So I started watching a couple of people. Nicole Guerrero had red hair at the time, and I followed her, and I found, there are products specifically for red hair, and they keep the color vibrant, and they help. And the message to me was, try and stick to products that are for red hair, because the red hair dye, the molecules are bigger than the spaces in our shaft, so they don't really penetrate. So red hair, if you wash it too often, hot water and all that, it fades immediately. So your whole goal when you dye your hair red is to try and find ways to keep it vibrant and red. So you reduce the number of times you wash your hair. Okay, that's another story. So I noticed that, and then Electric TV. She is now a professional cosmetologist or hairstylist. I followed her from before she even became that, and I noticed that protein treatments. She emphasized that, and she used that a lot. What else did she? But that was the main thing that I found with her, was her treatments were a little different. She emphasized Afro-G, and there were quite a few out there that I found on my own. Of course, I couldn't get those products here, but fortunately, around that time, I went to the States for Christmas and ended up staying there for 6 months with my sister. And I was able to buy products and try out. And by the time I left the States, because I was doing regular protein treatments and experimenting with protein products, by the time I came back home, my hair was totally different state. My hair was soft. It had grown long. It felt, it just felt wonderful. But of course, when I arrived, within a month or two, with this heat and with the dryness of this weather, my hair was now struggling again, but in definitely 10 times better state. So of course, I had come with a lot of product. Half my overweight. We even had to send things ahead of time because of my hair products. Can you imagine? They weigh so much that they end up being the heaviest things in your suitcase. So send those off. So I had maybe for the rest of the year, I had enough product, or 2 or a year and a half. I had enough product from the States to really help my hair. So I had so many products to try. And then I realized, my hair is doing well, regardless of the dryness and the heat and its effect on my hair. My hair would acclimatize, which it did. It got back to its own flow. And because I had products that would help to combat it, and I was forever using this and that from my stash, I decided, okay, let me just try coconut oil, because I'm realizing that my hair is different from the times before. And coconut oil has proven to be phenomenal on my hair. It's the best detangler for me. I can detangle my hair dry and wet with coconut oil. There are very few products out there that do that for me. If I use coconut oil on its own for, let's say, 3 or 4 months, I get a growth spurt. I don't necessarily add oils and things to my scalp, but when I use coconut oil, I would apply it and massage and then run it through, and my hair grows. Sometimes I feel this because it's just a lightweight sort of product. It smoothens my hair. When you don't have the right hair color products, I went to a stage where I didn't have access to very good hair color, so it would make your hair frizzy. Coconut oil smoothened that out. Coconut oil made my hair lustrous and long and silky. Oh my goodness, it softens my hair, makes my hair there's no shrinkage. My hair right now has coconut oil in it and some other things, but you see, I still have length. I have conditioner in it and coconut oil, and it has just helped to retain the length. There may be a bit of shrinkage and stuff like that, but once there's coconut oil in, there's something about coconut oil. And when you think about it, the Indian women with their long, lovely, lustrous hair who use coconut oil, my Bangladeshi friend, she always says, use coconut oil years ago. But I just never felt like it. And I think at the time my hair was relaxed and really not the way I wanted to go. But it does so much for my hair. I fall off the wagon, coconut oil wagon, because I get enamored by other products and I try them and I forget about my coconut oil. But my thing now is to always incorporate it into whatever I'm doing. So if I'm going to try a new product, I'm still going to make coconut oil either my base or my sealant, because it works well. Now think about this. From one year to the next, my hair hates coconut oil and my hair loves for coconut oil. So don't just give up. Don't just cast something aside and get rid of something aside until you are sure that you've done your process of elimination. You've decided that, it's coconut oil with a combination of this that breaks my hair, or it's coconut oil with this that makes it, or maybe my diet is bad, or maybe I'm going through a lot of stress, or maybe the climate is changing, or maybe I have I moved to a new country. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't just slam it. Don't just slam a product. Yes, I make reviews and I say this doesn't work for me, that doesn't work for me, but I don't throw away the product. I continue to use it. But just don't. My thing is, be an informed customer. Know why you're not buying something, or know why the other person isn't. Know that you're different. Your scalp is different. Your hormones are different. Your DNA is different. Your name is different. Your household is different. You come from a different family. All those factors make you different. So you can't just go headlong with follow somebody simply because they say, oh, it doesn't work for me. And it's like everybody seems to be very happy about saying, oh, coconut oil doesn't work for me. You do your research. You do your homework. You're not the whole. You might end up being the coconut oil poster girl. I'm not saying they're wrong. Anybody's wrong or right. Just be informed. Just inform yourself. Do your research. The internet. If you're online and you're on YouTube, it means you have access to the internet. Just type in coconut oil, unrefined. They want to tell you there's fractionated, unfractionated. There's this and there's that, and and there's coconut oil that if you put in your fridge does not solidify. That should question. Those are things you need to question. Maybe you bought it from an ethnic store and was going rancid. Maybe that's why. When I buy coconut oil from an ethnic store and they don't store the thing properly, and I bring it home, I use it, I get bumps, and then I know it's on its way to being rancid. I get rid of it. I go and get a fresh bottle. So you start to choose the places where you buy it from. You go to a place that there's a lot of traffic and a lot of people are buying it. That coconut oil is it gets off. New stock keeps arriving. That's my viewpoint, and therefore my successor. There's a brand in a blue bottle. I can't remember the name. Everybody knows it's online. I used to always buy that. Can't get it here now. So I found this one. I also bought, nowadays everybody's selling the solid coconut oil in the containers and things like that. You need to wonder, how come it's not liquefying on the shelf, or is it at room temperature? Why is it still solid when it's 32 degrees in here or 102 in here? You need to. Those are the things. So my thing is, sometimes there's a quality or the type of coconut oil. This I will never buy. And it was in the tiny health food section on a little shelf with other things like almonds and almond powder and things like that. And I bought it because I couldn't find. I wasn't going to go to my usual place. Wasn't going to go to trek one end of the town to the other to get my coconut oil. I figured, well, this is here. Let me try it. I was so disappointed. It doesn't smell like anything. It smells like car oil. Engine oil or something. It doesn't smell like, I don't know, it smells like cooking oil, and this is, it smells like coconut oil. It smells like, it even makes me nauseous because as a kid, there was a lady who cooked with coconut oil. She made these little snacks, sweet snacks, and they were so drenched in coconut oil that it made me nauseous and I threw up. So too much coconut oil. This smells close to the amount of oil, but I love it. I love it up to a point. I know that this is coconut oil. this coconut oil is liquid. I put it in the fridge, it's solidified. I took it out. You know, when you put it in a fridge and it doesn't solidify, you should query that, because at certain temperatures it will solidify. In the wintertime, I always have to steep it in hot water, you know, things like that. But my whole point is, be an informed customer or consumer. Please. You know, there's always negative press about something. You query that. Find out why. Do your little research. If it means going through your subscribership or the people you follow and seeing who says they like it and who it works for, and deduce from that. Decide from that. You know, I just query sometimes when I hear, oh, I don't like, and sometimes people say it with such conviction that you'll be like, oh my God, I'm never buying that. No, you can't do that. If 1 out of 1 million people doesn't like coconut oil, doesn't mean that you are going to be the number 2. I'm not saying use it I'm trying to say just use it with sense, or not use something with sense. You know, don't just, the lady next door got rashes from the coconut oil. What else did she put in her hair? What if her combs and brushes are never washed, and therefore there's an infection? Or whatever, she got ringworm from her child and that's in her hair. I mean, all kinds of things out there. Be informed. Research. Read your ingredient labels. Look at the place where you're shopping. Is it a place of integrity? Is the shop owner, I mean, you can go as far as that. Is the shop owner somebody who's just taking things that fell off a truck? Or is this somebody who really imports his stuff from the home country where these products are sold? Think about those things. The natural health community now is so sophisticated now. I find that those videos of people chopping up aloe vera and scraping it and blending it and getting the shea butter, you know, they're sort of fading away. But those were the days where we really appreciated the natural health community. Now we're spoiled for choice. There's shea moisture, there's Tresemme. But all these people who didn't have a natural hairline now have a natural hairline. You need to be cautious. Okay, as natural as they say they are. You know, and what is natural to you? So, something I just believe something, if you can eat it or drink it and cook it, it's natural enough. So, if I'm not back before the holidays or after, have a happy holiday, enjoy the break, the season, and I hope to have some reviews coming up. There's some products that should be in my drugstore hopefully this month or 2, and I'm looking forward to seeing that they are there, and then I will try them out and come. If there's anything I need to tell you people, I will watch my parabens video, because that's another thing. Parabens got a black have an image that is so not true. One little report that had nothing to do with anything just tarnished the image of parabens in the natural hair community, like sulfates and sulfate free. I'm so happy there's some die-hard naturals out there who say, I am using parabens, I am using sulfate because my hair loves it, I haven't fallen sick. Because you have to think about what quantities are they talking about these products that are going to harm you. Sulfates give me slip for days. Tresemme came out with their naturals line. It's like when my hair turns into cotton when I use those products. You get what I'm saying? Yet the old product lines, moisture rich and all that were full of sulfates, hair loves it. It's a joy to use them. If I'm not dying right now because of it, and let me tell you, those companies have been around for years. They have research teams, they have chemists, they have labs of their own where they test these products. Trust me. They do not want lawsuits. They don't. Bear that in mind. So they're not going to put a product on the shelf that's going to be harmful to you or me. And if it is, we also have to be open. We also have to be cautious as consumers. Read in the labels. Know what's in there. The internet is on your phone. It's accessible everywhere. It'll give you some answers. Even the internet is not even reliable enough sometimes, you know. So I hope I've said enough for you to think about not always just listening to people, one person, two people who have a negative experience as the gospel. You know, there are lots of products I don't like, my hair doesn't like. Doesn't mean that you should stop using it because I say so. Who am I, really? Okay, take care.